In 2013, over 270,000 students and educators across our state participated in STEM Day: science, technology, engineering, and math. That's right, TAG's Education Foundation partners with Georgia education institutions, associations, and STEM-based companies to promote science, technology, engineering, and math curriculum. One amazing day of participation all across Georgia when teachers, students, and companies celebrate with exciting ideas and activities. Greetings, everyone. It's Friday, March 7th, 2014, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. STEM, it's Georgia's future. Innovative and quality education vital for providing professional opportunities for students as well as strengthening Georgia's future workforce and its future economy. The Georgia statewide STEM Day is an annual event for every school, every student, every teacher and company to raise awareness, celebrate, and engage in activities. Up to the Tech Talk, Michael Robertson. Michael joined the TAG Education Collaborative in November of 2010 and serves as its executive director. In this role, he works with TAG member companies to support and promote STEM programs to today's students and to the workforce of tomorrow. Find out how you, your company, your neighborhood, schools, and academic organizations can participate in this year's STEM Day and get the details on how to nominate a company, school, program, or public-private partnership for the ever-growing, more prestigious annual STEM Recognition Awards. The TAG Education Collaborative presents Georgia STEM Day this May 9th, 2014, and the Tech Talk presents how you can join the celebration as we speak with TAG's Education Collaborative Executive Director, Michael Robertson. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. TAG TV and TAG Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Michael, welcome to Tech Talk.
Oh, thank you, Frank. Excited to be here today.
Well, it's always a great pleasure, and it's actually growing more important with each passing year to get an opportunity to speak with you. I can remember, hadn't been all that long ago, when you first got involved with TAG Ed, and there wasn't a whole lot there. Now it's a case where it doesn't seem a place you can go to anymore that you're not hearing about the great things that you're involved in. Certainly one of the things that I know we want to focus on is the I can remember when the acronym first started coming around and people didn't know what STEM meant. Now it's a case where I think most people who are, not only do they know about it, but they're actually involved in it in some way. So, but for the listeners that may or may not be familiar with the Georgia STEM Day and just why the TAG Ed is supporting the effort, let's start there. What is Georgia STEM Day?
Frank, we came up with the idea of STEM Day last year because we wanted to raise a level of awareness of what STEM education is, science, technology, engineering, and math, and why it's important. And so as we were talking about what can we do to raise the level of awareness, because you and I know what STEM is, but there's an awful lot of places around that don't know what STEM is and may confuse it with stem cells or with the stem of a plant. So it's been very satisfying for us to develop the first STEM Day last year and move into doing it again this year. It was such a great success last year.
Okay, so it's science, technology, engineering, and math. The focus obviously is on the early education and high school education, that kind of thing, to influence younger students to follow that path. I'm asking now, but I think that's the case. And maybe go into a little bit of why TAG Ed is supporting the effort.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So our efforts, TAG Ed is the TAG Education Collaborative. We are the charitable arm of the Technology Association of Georgia. We were formed because the technology industry and our members have a problem. We have over 4,000 jobs today that we can't fill because people don't have the technology skills to do them. And as the demand for technology and the implementation of technology throughout all of our lives gets greater, the demand grows even more. There's estimates that by the end of this century, we're going to need 218,000 STEM qualified workers, and just in the technology industry, and that in and of itself gives us an opportunity to get students more interested in technology and math and science, and build that strong foundation in math and science that gives them an opportunity for a very satisfying and in-demand career in the future.
On Tech Talk lately especially, we've been talking a lot about the coming of the digital economy, the tipping point from analog to digital, and how things are in the cloud and all of the things that are changing so rapidly with mobile technologies and apps and all those kind of things. I guess my point is that what would be more important, more relevant, more necessary than to have that kind of human resource being developed if, in fact, we're trying to attract inbound investment, if we're trying to develop our own companies here locally. And I think let's go into a little bit about the impact of the initiative, because I know it's in its second year, but I think our listeners probably, again, who aren't familiar with, maybe you heard about STEM but not STEM Day, don't realize, and I don't want to make light of it, that it's not President's Day. It's not just something that we honor with a governor's proclamation. This actually was an event that brought together how many students from where?
It's an interesting story. It's 275,000 students.
275,000 students. Go ahead.
In 50 districts throughout the state. And
Michael, that's insane. That's great.
It's just tremendous. We started this initiative last year and said, this is our first year. Let's shoot for the moon, and if we can get to 10,000 students, we'll be thrilled. We started with 3 partners, and it was an idea whose time had come.
Yeah.
You know, our kids talk about different programs going viral. I guess that's what happened. We had schools, companies, school districts, STEM coordinators, science teachers from all over the state.
What that must have meant to a teenager. I mean, you know, with all of the pressure that's on them to stay in school and to get that degree, but it seems like the cliche is that they all want to be celebrities. They all want to be on American Idol and play a guitar. All of a sudden, it was cool to care about science, technology, engineering, and math.
That's right.
When you're seeing 275,000 of your fellow students getting psyched about it.
Well, and I think the key here was, this is an awareness campaign. We were trying to make it fun. We wanted students to experience something in their classroom around STEM that was fun. And so we had 4th graders mummifying chickens. and Frank, you get to go dig up those chickens and see how it went this year. We had schools doing, a lot of us did the egg drop competition, where you cushion an egg and you try and drop it from the 2nd story and see which ones are going to break and which ones are not. We had some schools that did an Angry Birds trajectory competition over their school.
Wow.
And then of course we had speakers from the STEM community going into classrooms. We had schools going on field trips, and so the variety of programs was as wide as STEM itself. And I always say, when you say something about technology or STEM to a student, it's everything from actuarial science to zoology.
Well, again, and we're talking the first year, so the second year it's only going to be bigger and better. You've learned a lot, also seen a lot of opportunities probably come to the surface. one of the things I think probably would be important to some of our listeners, and that is, how can the business community get involved?
Well, I think first and foremost is help us promote it. Go talk to your kids about it. Talk to your local schools. See what they're doing. Ask how you can help and get involved. Volunteer in classrooms. We have companies that invite students in for a job shadowing or just even a field trip. Just a chance to see what a technology workplace looks like. Because let's face it, most of our teachers and almost all of our students have no idea what a technology workplace looks like. And then, we had a couple of schools and a couple of businesses come together and form public-private partnerships where the business is getting involved with the school and helping to teach the students, going way beyond the donut shop and the pizza parlor that wants your business, but the business is getting involved in helping students learn what they do.
Now, does that partnership, does it build on from the day of the STEM day, or is it only that day? I mean, go into a little bit about that, because that sounds pretty interesting.
I think it depends on the school, and it depends on the business. I think the nice part of it is it can be as big or as small as you want it to be. We have businesses that are very involved in schools. We have businesses that send projects to schools to be done, and these are real-world value-added projects. Last week I was out at Lanier High School out in Gwinnett County, and they have a program called the Center for Design and Technology that takes on projects from the business community and does them just like an outsourcing firm would take on. And these high school students, as part of a student project, are developing videos and animation projects and social media strategies, those kinds of things.
I want to talk about the schools and how the schools get involved, but before we leave the business community, how do they make contact? If I'm interested, and what you're saying is it could be a little more than just serving a role or as major as, say, a public-private partnership, but the one thing to do is that if you're interested in the future of Georgia's economy, if you have anything to do with technology, truly if you have anything to do with any kind of vertical sector of enterprise, you're going to want to be part of the STEM Day. So how would a business get involved? How would they register or connect?
Certainly go on our website. That's tagedonline.org, and we have resources, or just contact your local school.
Oh, okay.
Ask to speak to the principal. One of the interesting things, my background is business, and one of the things that I've learned in the almost 4 years I've been in this job is we speak different languages in so many ways, but if we can make a connection, businesses want to help schools, and schools need businesses' help. And it's oftentimes it's just reaching out and sitting down and saying, hey, I'm here to help. What do you want us to do?
That's powerful, because we're not only talking about Tag Ed, but we're talking about the school down the street that maybe you have a child going there, but maybe you don't, but that you can really lend a hand. You can actually go to that principal and talk about it. That's local and global all at the same time. That's a really interesting factor. I didn't realize, in fact, it sounds so logical, but I thought there was a formal registration and a method to get involved. But you can go right down to your local school. And talking about schools, let's touch on that real quick. What should schools do if they want to learn more about STEM, and how do they get involved?
We ask schools to register with us again on that same website, tagedonline.org, so that one, we can understand the scope of what we're doing. That's how we found out we had 275,000 students last year. We had school districts join, and we had the fourth grade science teacher in Middle Georgia that said, I want to do something for my 20 kids. And so we asked that schools or teachers go ahead and register online. We want to stay in touch with you and share what we're doing, the programs that we have outside of STEM Day to reach out and get students involved. And our goal is to give students real-world hands-on experiences so they can see what working on a technology project or in a technology business is like.
What's the time frame? How much time do we have to make contact with schools or to get involved with you to register? What's the day?
So STEM Day is May 9th.
Great. Okay.
This year, so we've got plenty of time. We've already got about, I think it's a little over 100 different schools and organizations. And let's make one other point. This does not just have to be about a school. We have lots of after-school programs that reach out and do something STEM-related on STEM Day to help their students understand the opportunities.
Now, another thing that you were part of it early on, maybe brought the idea certainly to popularity, and that's the STEM Education Awards. Talk about a home run. That thing went way out of the ballpark last year. How do those awards work, and how do these awards incorporate STEM Day?
So this will be the third year of the STEM Education Awards. We wanted, one of the things TAG does very well is celebrate. We have all kinds of celebration programs for industry, and we recognize that there were some really neat things going on around STEM education in Georgia that we're not getting much publicity. We're not getting much celebration. So 2 years ago, we started the STEM Education Awards. We hold it in Savannah the last week in September, so it's a kind of a nice Friday afternoon, and maybe you can sneak in a nice weekend. And we just want to do a couple of things. One, we're trying to celebrate the good work that is going on in STEM education throughout the state. And by doing that, we start to share best practices, and organizations start to see how a program that got started at Southwire in Carrollton may get adjusted and taken in place in a business in Augusta, or the tremendous work that they do in Savannah, Chatham County, supporting their local school districts. Maybe there's some ideas that may spark for another area school district that's looking for ways to engage business. That's what we were hoping to do with STEM Education Awards, and boy, has it proven to be a positive thing.
How would one get involved in that? Is that something you're nominated for, or do you submit an idea or some form of involvement? And how does that work, the actual registration?
We will be announcing the nomination process probably in.
And this is statewide.
It's a statewide thing. 60% of the finalists last year were outside the metro Atlanta area.
Huh.
So, and that's part of what we're wanting to show. STEM education is not stuck within the 285 corridor. But so
neither is innovation and jobs.
What do you know? How about that?
Yeah.
Think there's a correlation there?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the dots are getting connected more and more with each passing day. The things you guys are doing at Tag Ed just continue to impact so many different levels, like you mentioned earlier, about job opportunities, also about economic opportunities. One thing is getting a good job. The other side is the realization that the quality of life and the kind of things that we enjoy in terms of the technology community can't happen unless we've got the brain power. And it all starts with the STEM of the brain, if you will. Again, we're talking STEM Day, STEM Awards, STEM Education Awards. Michael, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and I know each week it gets busier, and we'll look forward to the STEM Day activities and also an opportunity to go to Savannah. There's always a great place to visit, especially when there's something as important as STEM Education Awards.
And you have a great day, too.